And now, welcome to the Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast.
The show must go on, but things must go wrong.
Is what weirds me out a little bit.
It's that I think that's doing it to me too.
I can't tell if it's sexual.
You are nothing to me. You are nothing to me.
Hulk,
And he tells Hulk, "Do
I
something."
used you, Brooke.
Yeah.
I screwed
you. Yeah. You know, if he says something wrong to me, I'm gonna go, "Look, dude, I'm in a big league again."
Look, dude. Do you know who I am, and do you know how much money I've made doing it?
Yeah. And everybody's just having a good old fucking time here. They're having a great time at Bash the Beach.
Because it was free.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe
He
another
does it
one,
like
Terry.
3
He
or
does
4
it,
more
yeah,
times.
right. Well, I mean, it's the atomic electron.
Wrestling is so fucking stupid, dude. God, I love it. Yeah, now. All right, and welcome back to the final episode of August 10th or 11th, whatever today is. What is it? I got to get this right.
The 10th.
I think it's the 10th.
It's the 10th.
It's the 10th. The final episode of the Heels and Quads, August 10th, 2020, triple header. This is the SummerSlam 2020 review. We are almost 20 years away from this. We are about 17 days.
Correct.
17 more days until the actual 20-year anniversary of SummerSlam 2000.
But this will live on YouTube and podcast platforms forever.
I can't see everybody here, but people over there, let me hear you. People over there, let me hear you. Wild animals, make some noise. On the way in the back, let's hear you. All the way over there, let's see those hands. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Hold on. People in the middle, let me hear you.
And like all the other videos today, it is sponsored by Fully Loaded Tobacco-Free Dip. Fully Loaded Chew.com ski.
Use coupon code HEELPOD10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. They got killer prices. They even have a membership if you're a total dipper and you want to get off the tobacco stuff. Me and Tommy are going to transition to this, and you should too. So go to fullyloadedchew.com and use coupon code HEELPOD10 at checkout.
All right.
Anyways, last week we covered Fully Loaded 2000, so it's only right to continue with our 2000 journey and do SummerSlam 2000 because this is a great show, 10 matches on it, and it had a lot of moments that kind of go down in history, I guess. Well, 2 of them, but the TLC match and then, of course, the main event is a classic, I guess now you can say.
I'm in. What? I'm in.
The show opens with, and I have the Wikipedia page, and I have, of course, the 411 Mania page posted by Scott Keith, July 24th, 2002. The Smart Retro Repost, SummerSlam 2000. 411,
It was retro,
411mania.com.
even though it's from 18 years ago, and the show was only 2 years old, but it's still the retro.
Yes, exactly. The video package that opens it, kind of like the classic. It's almost like a WrestleMania intro.
You got classy
the-
Freddie Blassie sitting there, chilling.
Yeah, and if you watch the Bash at the Beach 2000 episode today, this one will move a little quicker because we kind of stayed on that one a little long. But the opening match is Right to Censor versus Too Cool and Rikishi. Val Venus was not in Right to Censor just yet.
Not yet.
Bull Buchanan, the Good Father, and Steve Richards. He's real close though because he's kind of turning here.
And later on we have a match with Val, and he's wearing the white trunks,
Yeah,
white boots.
yeah, which I really liked actually.
thought they looked a
Colby,
little too much like briefs for me, but
like whitey tighties.
fair enough.
Right to Censor and Too Cool 6-man tag match opener, 4 minutes 57 seconds. Not bad.
Not bad.
It wasn't quite the opener that was the Hardy Boys and
TNA. Mm-hmm.
Fully Loaded 2000, but it was good enough. It was just quick, easy. You get the pops, you get the Too Cool music. You know,
oh man, they were still so over here. That's what blows my mind.
They were never not over. They were over the entire time, man.
It sucked when they turned Rikishi later on this year when he was the one that ran over Stone Cold and he did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for The Rock. Like The Rock imitates him.
What? 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 What?
And then we get Road Dogg versus X-Pock. I feel like this one's missing backstage segments again too, but I think it was just it's whatever. It was like Stephanie and Triple H or something.
Yeah.
Road Dogg and X-Pac, that ran 4 minutes and 31 seconds. X-Pac defeated Road Dogg. By the way, the Right to Censor defeated Too Cool because they were on a tirade. X-Pac defeated Road Dogg 4 minutes 31 seconds. This was fairly action-packed for 4.5 minutes. You know, it was kind of at that crumbling point of DX.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of just like slowly getting rid of it. And I will say booking here at this time period made like everything kind of made sense, and there were stories for everything. There was a reason everything was happening. So it was,
I mean, like we said last week or the week before, that late 96 all the way through the Ruthless Aggression era, I mean, solid card.
booking made
story.
Sense. Yeah.
Next match, story. Next match, story.
Yep. There was a reason for everything.
And here it was always weird to see DX go head to head. And it happened a few times.
Especially
like,
at the time.
Road Dogg and Billy Gunn having matches. They did the Mania match and here with X-Pac and Road Dogg. I did want to say about the one spot where X-Pac's like they're really working. They're wrestling. And then X-Pac does the little where you lay on top and then spin around.
And you dance around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like amateur stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's just those little nuggets like that, you know, that makes matches worth watching.
And then he slaps his head.
Yeah. He's
proving
that he's the better wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah. Better amateur guy. And yeah, so anyways, X-Pac defeated Road Dogg. It was a fun little match to watch. You don't need to skip it if you watch the show.
I would have liked it to be a little longer.
Like 9 or 10 minutes, maybe. 8 to 10 would have been good.
Give it a little more time.
Then we get Eddie Guerrero and Chyna defeating Trish Stratus and Val Venus
for the Intercontinental title.
Because booking made sense, but at the same time it was a little wonky sometimes.
Yeah, whoever gets the pen gets the title, and we had seen it before, so I mean it's not that out there, but it was still weird. But it was cool to see Chyna win the IC title. So.
And Eddie Guerrero and Chyna, the Latino Heat thing, man.
Mamacita.
I love it. Mamacita. I loved Eddie and Chyna. They were like the perfect duo. He took her to prom that one time. Dude, I loved Eddie and Chyna.
Their
it was
segments
such a good combo.
Were fucking hilarious.
Because Eddie was fucking good, man.
So was Chyna.
So
Chyna will never get the credit she deserves. She was fucking top notch. No. Here with really Eddie, good. Before with Mark Henry, and then before that, of course, with Triple H. I mean, she could make a program fucking work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a fun little match to watch. 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Trish was still, like we said last week, she was a little green, but
greener than goose shit.
Everybody kind of helped and did the work. Eddie and Val was great, but yeah, it was a fun match to watch. Not bad. And, And then we get the storyline for Jerry Lawler and Taz, because Taz is picking on JR and being a douche, and he screwed up his eye, and Lawler stepped up for him. And, you know, this one, it was only 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Jerry defeated Taz after Taz put Jerry Lawler in the sleeper after the ref bump. And then JR smashes that candy jar on Taz's head, busts his hand open.
Wide open.
Yeah, and then that's when Lawler gets the pin. And it was just a real feel-good moment. The crowd was hot for that, too, and hot for the King. But
it was cool to see JR get involved because he's always been that straightforward, commentator, calls it down the middle for the most part. Obviously a babyface commentator, but it was cool that, the King was sticking up for his co-commentary.
Buddy, man,
and then JR's like, okay, I've seen enough. He puts him in the Taz mission, and then that's when the camera pans to JR and he takes off his headset and
it was a great spot.
As soon as he gets up,
the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Too. They're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
JR, man, he's never not going to be over.
As much as I like Shivani and I like the WCW announce team, there never, ever, ever will be another better announce team than JR and the King. Sorry, the duo, I don't think it'll ever happen.
And that's the classic, when we grew up. I mean, obviously, I got to enjoy Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan or Gorilla
Vince and all that.
And the Body, but
yeah.
And up until, once JR and Jerry were done, that classic team that you always watched every week was over.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's just like, oh, man, you can't even stand to listen to commentary anymore on in the Fed.
Yeah, it's not. Michael Cole can't carry all of it. Then we get Steve.
He's not bad all the time. I think we're a little harsh on Cole sometimes.
No, and that's why I said he can't carry all of it because he's the only one that's like the experienced guy. I like when they throw random people in there sometimes, but I mean, it's just like, anyways.
I could just do without the big dog and it's boss time.
Yeah.
Vintage Orton, like that kind of shit. I'm over that, but he's good at what he does.
We get Steve Blackman and Shane McMahon for the hardcore title, 10 minutes and 17 seconds.
This is obviously a classic.
Steve Blackman was always one of my favorites when I was a kid, too, because I felt like he was the lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was, the lethal weapon?
Yeah.
Steve Blackman? Yeah. And he brings the kendo stick. And, him and Shane, he beats the hell out of Shane pretty much the whole time. Tess and Albert get involved. But, yeah, he beats the hell out of Shane always has, back around this time, he had good hardcore matches. But, of course, the big deal here is the spot off the Titantron. Shane climbs up it. Blackman's hitting him with the kendo stick.
In the legs.
Hits him, and he finally just falls back. And, dude, that is scary. Because it's like, what if you miss, man?
And that was a long fall.
That was a big drop.
Yeah.
And Blackman does the elbow on him.
I was always kind of curious as to why Vince would be okay with this after, obviously the Owen Hart fall. I would think those long kind of drops like that would kind of be nixed by that point.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was because Shane's like, "Come on, Dad, I promise it's all good." Maybe it's because it's not an accident. It's coordinated.
Yeah.
Like it's like, this is what's gonna happen. It's all set up. I'm sure he's like, "I'll show you real quick, Dad. It's gonna be good."
And Vince probably did it as well because they always said Vince would do stuff like the stunts before he would let anybody else do it.
Vince falling off. That would be amazing to see.
I'd love to see footage of that.
Pow. But yeah, anyway, Steve Blackman beats the hell out of Shane, and then he knocks him off Titantron, then hits him with an elbow drop, gets the 1-2-3, and wins the Hardcore Championship. And then, of course, we see Stephanie backstage worried about Shane, and then Angle comes in. He's like, "It's going to be okay. He bumped his kisser or something." And then Mick Foley walks in. And he's like, "Am I interrupting?" And she's like, "No, you're not interrupting." Because she's like playing dumb, as if
we're just
she
friends.
Doesn't realize. Yeah, we're just friends. And then we get Chris Benoit defeated Chris Jericho in a 2 out of 3 falls match, 2-1. He gets a cheap win on the third fall, 13 minutes and 1 seconds. These guys always had great matches, but this is one of them right here. It's just kind of quick. The crossface gets Jericho on the first one. Yep. And then the Walls of Jericho for the second one, right? And then the weird roll-up sequence, and then Benoit's got the rope for the third fall.
Yeah. Because Benoit's a heel here, so it makes sense.
Yeah. But it's an action-packed match. Both these dudes are coming off main event matches at the pay-per-view before, and so they put on a good show here, and technical submission-style wrestling, but also lots of compound moves, man, because these guys are good. So
I also watched
Jericho.
The first part of the next night on Raw, and they open with Jericho and the APA versus Benoit and TNA, which wasn't a bad match either.
Yeah,
But I kind of wanted to see how it opened the next night before we talked about it.
I always remember back in the day watching, I couldn't wait for the opening of Raw after a pay-per-view because I was like, you get to see who's champion, because sometimes I didn't see the Scrambled Channel match.
Right. And sometimes, not everybody still had internet in 2000. It was still kind of, especially around here. I just moved to Mountain Home, so it was kind of like we had it and then we didn't have it for a while, and it was dial-up and it was shitty and it took forever to load WWE.com or WWF.com.
And then we get the first ever TLC match. Went 18 minutes and 38 seconds. Edge and Christian defeated the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. If you ever noticed, Edge and Christian won all of the first three TLC, because the Triangle Ladder match turned into a TLC match essentially at WrestleMania 2000. But they won that, they won this, and they won TLC too. But the idea for TLC is great, and this is one I had some notes on, or not notes, but I just wrote down. TLC was well coordinated. That was a lot of big spots, dude. Like Bubba going through the 4 tables, Matt falling backwards through the 2 tables, the 2 tables outside, Jeff doing the swanton and missing, them hanging from the titles and getting hit with ladders. I mean, it was just very well coordinated, because there was so much shit that could go wrong. You could hit your head on the barricade. You could miss the tables going off. You could your leg not extend and get to the rope and sack yourself. Like there's a lot of stuff in TLC that could go wrong, but these guys are professionals and they did a killer job at TLC. And this one, I think it's hard to pick if I like TLC 1 or 2 better. I don't know which one I for sure like better, but this one is just straight up 5-star match, man.
I honestly think out of all of them, this one was my favorite. Like you said, I thought it was the best coordinated one of them. I think just the way it was put together, the way it came off on camera, this one looked the best.
And the table spots, it's nuts, man. And it's just action constantly. Shit's happening. Jeff, of course, has to hurt himself. He has to miss and screw himself up, But that's Jeff Hardy. They're always taking risks like that. But
this is definitely one, if you've never seen it, you have to watch it.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, then you need to see it to call yourself a fan, I feel like, because it's kind of this is like a big piece of history here as far as ladder matches and shit like that go. So TLC, man, that's where it's at. And then we get a little popcorn match here. The Cat defeated Terry in a stink face match. This is the one that I wrote, women's wrestling has come a long way.
Yeah.
It was 3 minutes and 7 seconds. 3 minutes and 7 seconds too long. And I also noted Lawler is amazing on commentary, because I don't remember what it was, but throughout the show, he just gets excited about certain things.
Yeah.
And when he gets excited, it's funny hearing him, but he's going, here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. He's such a perv.
Now, I'm trying to remember if they were already married at this point or not.
They were probably, they were together, right?
Yeah.
Because he's obviously, biased.
And then they get married, and then she gets fired. He quits.
Yeah.
And then they bring him back
that's
after
when Heyman...
they split. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's WrestleMania 17 or X7.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're getting to that point, if they're not already.
So yeah, the cat defeated Terry. Nothing to talk about there.
Yeah.
Stink face match.
Yeah, whatever.
Kane versus Undertaker was a no DQ match, 7 minutes and 33 seconds. It ended in a no contest, and I wrote a note on this just to say, Kane and Taker is an easy match to book. It's a formula that works. Why not do it? That's literally all it was. It was just
probably don't have anything else for either one of them at this point.
Exactly.
So
it's SummerSlam. You need to see both.
Yeah. Because they were tagging before this, and then on Raw, either a week or two before this is when Kane is like, he comes out and helps Shane.
Yeah.
And he gets the microphone, and they're like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that to your brother?" And he's like, "Because I'm a monster." So you're getting Kane going back to that original place and not having emotions for people like he did with X-Pock and the other Tory, yeah. So anyways, yeah, it was a fun little brawl to watch. They beat the hell out of each other. Undertaker keeps going for the mask.
Yeah.
Breaks a piece off and then takes the mask off. And this is the first glimpse you get to see of Kane without his mask. And there's a picture that's online and so from a fan, and they snapped a picture of Kane coming out of the ring, and you can see his full face. So at this point,
you can see old Glenn.
That was the mayor of Knox County. You can see his face for the first time, but on the actual event, you only see like a little bit. So I don't even think here you could tell that it was Dr. Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Yeah.
But
I was definitely trying to see how well you could see it.
At this point, that was a big deal to even see a little bit of his face because everybody wanted to know who he was and what he looked like. Did he look exactly like the Undertaker?
I forgot to mention, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina here at the Raleigh Entertainment and Sports Arena. 17,002 people.
Which is a huge city for a big event to be at, you know?
Yeah. And that's why I always thought that the Hardys should have won TLC here because they were in their home state, and that would have been a huge babyface pop, but you got to get the big heel boo for Edge and Christian. Because I feel like fans went into it going, oh, the Hardys got to win.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Uh-oh.
And then we get the main event, The Rock. 20 minutes and 11 seconds. We got tech diff going on here. Let's see.
Okay, we're back.
We good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I want to make sure. It was froze for a second again. All right. Yeah. The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, triple threat match for the WWF title. You're not froze. I see. I see ya. This is over. Kurt and Triple H is over Stephanie, whereas The Rock is just the champion. It's like them and the Stephanie thing, and then it's like The Rock's champ, so let's make it a triple threat because they both pinned Jericho in that match on SmackDown to be number one contender. And
they're kind of working together because that's how you're going to beat The Rock, but the weeks leading up, they're both screwing each other to get to Stephanie before the other one can.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very weird. It was a weird storyline, but it was good.
Kurt Angle comes out first, cuts the little promo, then Triple H comes out. They start brawling, and then that's when they go outside. Triple H does the pedigree on the table, and Kurt Angle's head hits the ground. And I believe he was actually concussed here.
Probably.
And they kind of had to do the curveball because I could see Triple H talking to him. And then Rock comes out, and I think they kind of just go, hey, we got to wing this because he's actually hurt. But Triple H, that dude is a professional in every way, but you could just see he handled the situation. Him and The Rock handled the situation the best they could. Even to the point where they're taking Kurt back, and Triple H just for storyline hits him a couple times, and then The Rock takes him out just to make it look that much better, you know. And then Triple H and Rock have a killer match, but I feel like the real action, was when Kurt comes back and it's him and Rock.
Yeah.
And that was it was all good, but
he's on the stretcher and then he's in the back and Stephanie's like, you got to go out there and help Triple H and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he comes running back out.
And him and Rock get after it, and you see some rock bottoms, and you see the pedigree and all that. The sledgehammer's involved, and then eventually the Rock hits Angle's outside. Triple H is down. He hits the people's elbow, gets the 1, 2, 3, and retains the title.
Because the
And then they
people's
go
elbow's got to be the finish.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it, is the fact that the people's elbow is not a brutal finisher by any means.
I think it was always, like, even in the video games, it was always the signature move. It was never the finisher.
Yeah, the rock bottom's the finisher. Exactly.
And it's a more believable finish.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and plan on next month. We'll do Unforgiven 2000 for sure, because I want to keep that going, because Unforgiven 2000 is pretty good.
This month, I figure we do New Blood Rising, and then we do some more SummerSlams.
Next week, let's just do New Blood.
Yeah.
Just New Blood and focus on that.
Just
and then we'll do – yeah. Let's just do that.
This is 2 hours now.
It's a little cram-packed, yeah. So we'll do New Blood Rising next week, and then we'll pick some summer – I'll pick one, you pick one.
Okay. You pick first, since I kind of already did the graphic for New Blood Rising, so that was my choice.
I was going to say today, hey, let's do New Blood Rising. Okay. So kind of read each other's mind. But anyways, that's it. Yeah, SummerSlam 2000, go watch that. That is a great show. I'm still a little upset I didn't buy that from Hastings when they were closing. And
there's a little preview of the graphic.
Oh, is that my eyes?
Yeah.
That is me. Interesting.
I'm still trying to get the Vampiro face paint on you on that.
All right.
Working on it.
So follow the show on Twitter and Instagram. Heels and Quads on Twitter. Heels and Quads Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. Subscribe wherever podcasts are found. Subscribe here on YouTube. Thumbs up. Do all that YouTube shit too. This is the third video.
Hit that bell notification.
Hit that bell notification. I know some people say they're not getting notifications. And
shout out to all the people who just happen upon these videos, by the way, because our YouTube numbers are steadily going up, and I love it.
Yeah, subscribe, like, tell your friends, tell your enemies, do all that stuff. FullyLoadedShoe.com, coupon code HEELPOD10 at checkout to save 10%. Collaranelbowbrand.com, coupon code Heels and Quads in all caps at checkout, save 10%. Go Green Hemp. Coupon code Heels and Quads in all caps at checkout saves 15%. ManCanWine.com. Coupon code Heels and Quads in all caps at checkout saves 25%.
And free shipping.
And free shipping. And follow us everywhere and subscribe, like.
Patreon.com/Heels and Quads. Sign up.
Yeah.
ProWrestlingTees.com/Heels and Quads and get your podcast t-shirt merchandise. Extravaganza, McLarge Huge.
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week with New Blood Rising. WCW 2000 continues.
Yeah, now.
Tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.